Hello fellow Halo players who are dying to see Halo Infinite gameplay. I'd like to start off by saying you've come to the wrong place if you're here for news on the newest Halo edition to the franchise that we all know and love. I mean, you've read the title, so obviously you're here to hear me out about what Halo Infinite needs. So, this video is going to mostly contain my opinions and how I think Infinite should be made. With that said, we're basing these thoughts and opinions on 3 attributes that the game needs to have: nostalgia, dynamic, and storytelling. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, let's start at the beginning. In 2001, Halo 1 was released to the original Xbox for players to enjoy. At the time, gaming was about to go on a massive streak of trends and popularity. There was always good games even before Halo came along. That said, Halo completely changed the gaming industry and gave us a brand new experience that no one knew was going to be a success. Which brings us to our first attribute, nostalgia. Halo Infinite needs to bring back old elements of the old Halos while not making it feel like they added nothing new. Remember how Halo 1 gave you that sense of mystery? You fought a random alien alliance known as the Covenant. You crash land on a mysterious ring with wildlife and land. You also then are introduced towards the midsection of the game to the Flood, and the entire outlook on everything changes. Halo Infinite needs to have that ominous, mysterious feeling again, since we know that the game takes place on another Halo ring. Luckily, we actually are probably going to get the Flood in Infinite, which is a wise decision that 343 will make. The new ring has so much potential for new Halo lore, and 343 needs to take advantage of that. They want to win over OG Halo players like myself who've played these games for years. They need to respect old Halos and acknowledge those games in more ways than one. There could be subtle dialogue, mentioning past events, or we could have flashback missions. There's so many different ideas that 343 can implement. Halo players want to feel like they are playing Halo again, so that way we have a sense of nostalgia implemented into Infinite's development. Now, my second required attribute is dynamic. Halo Infinite needs to have not only old elements, but new constant changes as well. Take a look at other games like GTA 5 or Minecraft. These games have been on all platforms for years, and it's because they're dynamic. They always have new things added in. They keep the player entertained and invested. Halo Infinite needs to have not only a good campaign, but a dynamic multiplayer system. They can incorporate rank/levels again, along with new elements like seasonal events, with tons of unlockables and things outside the box. The way Halo has always rised back then was from new elements always being introduced. Halo 1 introduced Covenant, Flood, online multiplayer with various game types and map variants. Halo 2 introduced the Covenant's perspective of the human-Covenant war while adding dual wielding, new weapons, new enemies, new textures and design, etc. Halo 3 introduced the finale to the amazing trilogy we all love, along with smoother gameplay, custom games, and more. Halo Infinite should have new enemies and old ones. New weapons, new vehicles, new maps, new playable species aside from Spartans and Elites, new game types, new customization, and so on. A thing I always thought would be cool is having the game type Infection, but the Infection forms are not just Spartans with energy swords, but actual Flood combat forms. That would be really cool to see. These are some of the things that I think would be great, but I can't cover it all in this one video. The next final attribute that we're going to talk about is storytelling. We all love Halo's story and lore because of the setting, the tone, the characters, the dialogue, design, soundtrack, and action that it has. Halo 1 told a story of mystery, sacrifice, horror, while Halo 2 told a story of the next stage of Halo 1's events along with Arbiter's point of view and learning what the Covenant is really fighting for. Halo 3 tells a story of the end of the conflict, and how everyone makes a last stand against the Prophet of Truth. There's always Halo 3 ODST, which tells you a side story of likable characters taking Covenant forces on in the city of New Mombasa, the same city that got hit by slip space in Halo 2. Halo Reach is also about sacrifice and loss, and shows how Halo 1 comes together. Halo 4 is the beginning of a new journey for Chief and Cortana. Now, obviously, then there's Halo 5, which we all know didn't have good storytelling and had a lack of things that are essential to making a good Halo game. Halo Infinite needs to branch off the previous games and tell the story through good dialogue and not explaining everything to the player. There needs to be mystery around the plot to give us all the element of surprise when we finally play it. They can also tell the story through small details like the environment of the Halo ring, secret collectibles to find, Easter eggs, or all the above. When it comes to the campaign, some want it to be linear, some want it to be open world. For me, personally, I think they need to make it linear, but with a little bit of free roam open world elements added in, because I want to see the story have a good plot without a bunch of alternate endings and choices. Now, some games have these things, and they're not necessarily bad, but Halo Infinite shouldn't have those elements. Overall, Halo Infinite is a game we're all having anticipation for by the end of 2020. These attributes I discussed are what I think need to be added to the game for it to be good. Now, not everyone who watched this is going to agree with me, but that's okay, because they're all just opinions. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this discussion video. This is a new thing that I decided to try, and please let me know in the comments if you guys want me to do more discussion videos like this, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Not then! Not again! We need to run!
No, we need to fight. Get ready.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits, you can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you